The swamp stinks of rot, and the gnats are chewing the back of your neck. But right there, standing in a thick green cluster with a brown cigar top, is the only survival resource that can feed you breakfast. Light your fire and dress a wound all before noon. It's not a cache, it's a plant, the cattail, the so-called supermarket of the swamp, and right now, you're starving in the middle of a grocery aisle you were never taught to read. Most people walk past cattails thinking they're just ditch weeds. You will walk into the water and harvest a three-part survival system that requires no tools, no fuel, and no prescription. Subscribe so you never miss this. Stay for the third use, the one that turns the sticky gel between the leaves into a numbing antibacterial dressing when your first aid kit is dry. The systemic lie is that survival food is hard to find, that you need a degree in botany and a field guide to identify edible plants. The cattail, the genus Typha, is one of the most recognizable plants on Earth. The brown seed head, shaped like a hot dog on a stick. The tall, flat, spongy leaves. It grows in every temperate wetland, ditch, and pond margin across the continent. No poisonous lookalikes exist. If it looks like a vertical green sword with a brown corn dog, it's a cattail. The entire plant is edible at different times of the year, useful for fire, and packed with medical compounds that stop pain, swelling, and bleeding. You just need to know which part to grab and when. Number 1. The food source. Stalk, rhizome, and pollen. The cattail feeds you three ways depending on the season. First, the young shoots. In spring and early summer, the white inner core of the lower stalk is tender, crisp, and tastes like cucumber crossed with celery. You grab the plant low, near the mudline, and pull it firmly upward until the outer leaves slide off and the pale, translucent core comes free. Eat it raw. Slice it into a survival salad. It's water-rich, fibrous, and provides immediate energy without the need for fire. Second, the rhizome. The thick, starchy root system buried in the mud is a year-round carbohydrate bank. Dig it out with a stick or your hands. It looks like a knobby, muddy rope. Peel away the outer fiber, and you'll find a white, spongy core. Chew it raw to extract the starch, spitting out the cellulose fiber. Better yet, dry the rhizomes by a fire. Crush them into a powder, and you have wild flour. Mix it with water, and you've got a flatbread dough that cooks on a hot rock. A single cattail patch can yield more starch per acre than potatoes. Most people are starving in the woods with a granola bar wrapper in their pocket, while standing knee-deep in free flour. Third, the pollen. In early summer, the male flower, the slender spike just above the brown cattail, releases a cloud of bright yellow pollen. Shake it into a bag, a bandana, or a cupped can. Cattail pollen is pure protein, micronutrients, and a golden flour substitute. Mix it with water or the rhizome flour, and you have a high-energy survival pancake. The brown seed head itself, the cigar, is not edible. It's too fibrous. But that fluff is for something else. Number 2. The fire resource. Tinder and hand drill. Fire is heat, signaling, and water purification. The cattail gives you two fire-starting materials. First, the seed head fluff. Crack open the brown cigar in late summer or fall, and a cloud of white, silky fibers erupts. This fluff is one of the finest natural tinder structures on the planet. It catches a spark from a ferro rod, a lighter, or even a weak magnifying glass instantly. But it burns very fast. You need to mix it with something slower, like shredded dry leaves or scraped birch bark to build a coal. A loose handful of fluff alone will flash and die before kindling catches. Process it. Pull the fluff apart, fluff it further, and create a bird's nest with a core of fine dry grass mixed in. Then drop your spark. Second, the stalk itself is a hand drill spindle. A dry, dead cattail stalk from the previous year is light, straight, and pithy. Find a piece as thick as your thumb and 2 feet long. Use it as the spindle in a bow drill set, or if you are desperate and your form is perfect, a hand drill spindle against a softwood fireboard like cedar or poplar. The pith creates a low-friction core. The outer skin provides structural integrity. The combination generates a coal faster than a solid hardwood spindle. Most people try to rub two sticks together like a cartoon. You will pick a cattail stalk and know it was evolved to burn. Number 3. The first aid kit. Antiseptic, anesthetic, anesthetic, and bandage. Now the medicine. Between the green outer leaves of the cattail, where they wrap each other at the base, a thick, clear gel accumulates. This gel is Typha's wound response secretion. It contains astringent and antimicrobial compounds. Scrape it out with your finger and apply it directly to cuts, scrapes, burns, and insect stings. It numbs the pain mildly, reduces swelling, and seals the wound from airborne bacteria. The native tribes of North America used this gel as a topical anesthetic and antiseptic for centuries before Neosporin. If you are stung by a wasp, split a fresh leaf, scoop the gel, and rub it on. The pain drops in seconds. Beyond the gel, the leaves themselves are bandages. Tear a cattail leaf into long strips. They're fibrous, flexible, and strong. Wrap a wound, splint a finger, or tie a poultice in place. When the leaf dries, it shrinks slightly, creating a natural compression wrap similar to an elastic bandage. And the fluff, the same seed down you use for tinder, is a sterile absorbent dressing. Pack a deep wound with cattail fluff if you have no gauze. It's hydrophobic, meaning it doesn't absorb moisture from the air, but it wicks blood and exudate from the wound. In World War I, cattail fluff was used in surgical dressings when cotton ran short. Most people bleed from a slip of the knife and fumble for a bandage they left in the car. You will reach for the green sword growing next to you, scrape the gel, wrap the leaf, and keep moving. The cattail doesn't just feed the fire, it feeds the flesh. Here is the reality. The packaged food industry and the pharmacy don't want you to learn. The difference between a survival ordeal and a relatively comfortable camp is often just the ability to recognize a single plant. The cattail, standing in the stagnant water at the edge of the highway right now, is a grocery store, a gas station, and an urgent care clinic wrapped in a green husk. You need no tools to harvest it. You need no license to possess it. You need no battery, no charger, and no signal. In a world stripped of packaging, the cattail is still there, still growing in every forgotten ditch. Still producing starch and pollen and gel, exactly as it did when the Paleolithic hunter-gatherers beat the Ice Age. Now drop a comment and tell me this. Have you seen cattails in your area? Describe the location, a drainage pond, a creek, a roadside ditch. Write it down. If you've never noticed them, write "looking tomorrow" and go find them. And in the next video, we are foraging another survival staple, the acorn. How to leach the tannins out of bitter white oak acorns using nothing but running water and a t-shirt, turning a poisonous nut into a pound of free flour. I'll see you there.